Bonjour, chers étudiants. Je suis très ravi de vous joindre aujourd'hui sur cette plateforme pour vous enseigner comment lire et étudier la partie technique de votre programme. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, students, for joining me once again on this online platform to look at your technical area. This particular video is tailor-made for students in mechanical engineering level 300. And I hope that you follow through this, this presentation as you prepare for your final exams. I would entreat you to listen to this video several times so that you can understand whatever that will be taught. So without wasting much time, j'aimerais partager mon écran avec vous. So let me share my screen with you. All right. Donc, si vous voyez mon écran, if you see my screen, what we have here is les disciplines du génie mécanique. Les disciplines du génie mécanique. That is the various disciplines or what goes on, the processes in mechanical engineering. What are the various areas or what are the processes mechanical engineer goes through to create a product. So for today, we are going to focus on one main discipline, which is la conception du produit. That is the conception of product. That is how the product cycle, how a product is conceived by a mechanical engineer, and then how what it goes through be able to get to the finished product, or be able for us to get the finished product. Okay, so what is conception de produit? What is product conception in mechanical engineering terms? Okay, so la conception de produit. Okay, la conception de produit. Let me highlight this portion. La conception de produit est le processus. C'est un processus. It's a process permettant de matérialiser les concepts. Okay? Avant de créer un produit, before creating any product, it has to be developed in the form of a concept. So as a mechanical engineer, one of your key strengths is your ability to create concepts, abstract concepts, put it on paper, transfer that concept on paper using an AutoCAD drawing or using a design, and then develop. So the first product idea comes in the form of a product concept. Okay, it comes in the form of an idea, and that idea is put on paper and then remodeled using AutoCAD. Okay, so when it goes through that stage, then it moves on from there to the final stage of the product. Okay, donc la conception d'un produit est le processus permettant de matérialiser des concepts, de concrétiser des objets, des biens, des équipements, ou de créer des services, des techniques, voire les systèmes complexes. Okay, so the process of conceiving a product goes through making sure that you're able to first conceive the idea, make it concrete. Okay, it could be an object, it could be an equipment, it could be a service, or it could be a technical service, anything. Whatever it is, it has to go through the same process of first conceiving the idea, put it on paper, developing it into models, and then having it go into a prototype stage before the product comes out. Okay, donc la conception du produit est le déroulement intellectuel. C'est un déroulement intellectuel because first it has to be you have to create it from your mind. Okay, it's a mental process of creating or transforming an idea and put it on paper, prototyping it, and bringing that idea, making that idea a reality. Whatever we see around us is a product of an idea. Tout ce que nous voyons autour de nous, c'est un produit d'une idée. It is a process of an idea that people conceived and materialized and built so that you and I could have products to use. So the microphone I'm using right now, the laptop I'm doing this on, the webcam I'm using were all product of engineering. And it's very important as an engineer or an engineering student to be able to conceive ideas that you can prototype, that you can concretize, that you can build into physical product, all right? Donc, la conception de produits et le déroulement intellectuel d'un individu ou bien d'une équipe. So, the déroulement intellectual could either be an individual or a group of persons. Okay, the conception of the idea could either be done by an individual or a group of persons. So, c'est un déroulement intellectuel d'un individu ou d'une équipe. Okay, and then d'un projet, d'une intention, mettant en œuvre des méthodes génériques, okay, ou connaissances empiriques, okay, en référence d'une démarche novatrice, okay. If you want to create a new idea, you have to make it possible by applying certain methods and certain empirical methods to create that product. So what you need to know here is that conception d'un produit mécanique est un déroulement intellectuel ou bien déroulement intellectuel d'un individu ou bien d'une équipe. That's what you need to know. Let's move into the next paragraph. Ces processus convoquent des aptitudes de syntaxe, ordonnancement et anticipation et de gestion. So the process of building this concept, okay, involves a synthesis of what we call anticipation and management. Okay, donc ces processus convoquent des aptitudes de synthèse, c'est-à-dire les anticipations et de gestion. That's the gestion involves planification et projection. Okay, so conceiving a product is a synthesis of anticipation and management. Okay, product management, product planification, and product projection, permettant de considérer chacune des étapes et décisions successives. So, avec la gestion, c'est-à-dire la planification des idées ou la planification du concept, ça vous aide à savoir quelle étape ça doit parcourir. What stages does it have to go through to be able to get to the finished product? Okay, so let's go on. So it also has to take into consideration the time frame, the equipment that will be needed to make sure that the particular concept gets to the finish line. Okay, so let's come to the next paragraph. Historiquement, les processus de conception de produits a pris de différentes formes. So historically, the process of conceiving products took different forms or different formats, selon les degrés d'innovation des objets et selon les organisations et les stratégies marketing de firm. Okay, so conceiving a product and making it a reality had historic. All right, so I hope we are back. Let's see if this is working. Okay, I hope it's recording now. I think there was a break in transmission. Let me share back my screen with you. All right, so we are back. So as I was saying, historically, the product conception goes through a series of processes. First, depending on the degree of innovation of the product or the marketing strategy of the organization. So mainly, the process that it goes through is first, the innovation of the product, how innovative is the object that is being produced. And then the marketing strategy the organization is going to use to market the product. So these are the key processes a product, a conception of a product goes through. to get to the finish line. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next line. The next paragraphe, de nombreuses recherches empiriques et théoriques poursuivent l'histoire des activités de conception. Des travaux sur la conception de produits distinguent généralement deux régimes de conception. There are two types of conception of a product. And these two types of conception is that la conception réglée et la conception innovante. Okay, so let me highlight it here. La conception réglée et la conception innovante. Okay. Now let's look at l'analyse fonctionnelle d'une conception de produit. L'analyse fonctionnelle est une démarche. Okay. L'analyse fonctionnelle est une démarche qui consiste à rechercher et à caractériser les fonctions faites par un produit pour satisfaire les besoins de son utilisateur. I read again. L'analyse fonctionnelle. When we talk about analyse fonctionnelle, functional analysis, okay, c'est une démarche. It's a step which consists in or which consists à rechercher. It's a step in the conception process that looks at the functions of a product and how it will satisfy the end user. So analyse fonctionnelle looks at product function, and then they also look at the end user. How beneficial will it be for the end user? Donc, analyse fonctionnelle est une démarche qui consiste à rechercher et à caractériser les fonctions offertes par un produit pour satisfaire les besoins de son utilisateur. Meaning that they look into how the qualities or the features of the product is going to benefit the end user. Okay, so that's what analyse fonctionnelle does. La démarche est généralement conduite en mode projet et peut être utilisée pour créer ou bien concevoir ou améliorer les produits. So l'analyse fonctionnelle usually helps to modify the end product or to enhance the end product to ensure that the end user get the maximum benefit from the product. Okay. L'objet visé par la démarche peut être un objet, un matériel, un processus matériel ou vivant, une organisation ou un logiciel. So the objective of the analyse fonctionnelle could either be to enhance the object, the material, or to even enhance an organization or a software. Okay. Les besoins sont de toute nature et sont exprimés de façon individuelle ou collective, objective ou subjective, avec les degrés de justification disparate. So they need to modify a product or modify the features of a product could be done by an individual or a group of people. And it could also be objective or a subjective based on the justification that is given. All right. Okay, so now let's look at some other tools that is used in modifying or that is used in conceiving mechanical products. We have le dessin technique or le dessin industriel. Il est dit aussi dessin industriel. So it's either dessin et technique or dessin industriel. So it's la même chose. They are the same thing. You can even call it dessin technique or dessin industriel. So what is it? Le dessin industriel est un langage graphique, figuratif pour la représentation graphique, la communication technique et la conception et l'analyse systématique des produits mécaniques. So the dessin technique is a graphic language that is used to represent the graphics of a product, the technical communication of a product, and the conception of a product, or even the analysis of a mechanical product. So as we said, the mechanical product goes through a system of production. Now, the tool that is used to remodel the graphics or the product, the tool that is used to do that is what is called the dessin technique or dessin industriel. That means that if you conceive a product as an engineer, you need to be able to bring this concept to reality. And to be able to do that, the tool to help you to realize that objective is the design technique. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. Il est utilisé principalement, we are now looking at the uses of the design technique or design industriel. Il est utilisé principalement en génie mécanique, en génie industriel, en génie électrique. Okay, so it's used mainly in mechanical engineering, industrial mechanics, and even in electrical engineering. Il s'agit d'un ensemble de conventions normalisées pour représenter des objets. I've already explained it, what it is used for. It's used to represent or has features that helps you to bring the idea, the concept that you have in your mind to reality. It's like it's a tool that helps you to give a 3D model of your idea, so that people who don't see what you are talking about can see it physically. So we also have conception assistée par ordinateur. That's another tool that is used to redesign your concept. Okay. Now we have something here which says that ne doit pas être confondu avec publication assistée par ordinateur. Now we are saying that we shouldn't confuse this particular product or this particular tool with conception assistée par ordinateur. Publication assistée par ordinateur is not the same as conception assistée par ordinateur. They are two different tools. Okay, this one is used for publishing. It's a tool that is that is usually, I think, Photoshop. It's like a Photoshop. This one is more of AutoCAD. Okay, of course, the tool that is used in doing Photoshop is different from the tool that is used in drawing AutoCAD. Okay, donc la conception assistée par ordinateur ou CAO. So the CAO, the English version of CAO is computer aided design. That is AutoCAD. CAD, okay? CAD, computer aided design, CAD. So the French version is CAO. La conception assistée par ordinateur, okay? Conception assistée par ordinateur. That is CAD, okay? So the CAD, the third version of it is computer aided design, which is CAD. CAD's French version is CAO, conception assistée par ordinateur. You need to know the French version as well as the English version. Okay, so what is this one used for? Donc, il comprend l'ensemble des logiciels et des techniques de modélisation géométrique permettant de concevoir, de tester virtuellement à l'aide d'un ordinateur et des techniques de simulation numérique. So, as you all know, the AutoCAD is used to simulate virtually concepts of products. Okay, so AutoCAD helps you to simulate do a virtual simulation of a product idea. Okay, so that is the main function. If you want to define it in French, you can say c'est un ensemble de logiciels. It's a group of software utilisé pour concevoir et tester virtuellement une conception de produit, ou bien tester virtuellement une conception mécanique. Okay, so again, c'est un ensemble de logiciels. Let me highlight it here. C'est l'ensemble de logiciels et techniques permettant de concevoir et tester virtuellement à l'aide d'un ordinateur with the aid of a computer to produce a simulation of a product idea. Okay, so that is the definition of CAO, or what we call CAD. All right, so let me highlight it here. Voila. Okay, donc let's go to the next paragraph. On confond souvent CAO and DAO. So the writer is saying that we usually confuse CAO and DAO. So what is DAO? DAO is dessin assisté par ordinateur. Dessin assisté par ordinateur. That is drawing, virtual drawing. Okay, so virtual drawing is quite different from AutoCAD drawing. Dessin assisté par ordinateur is any other drawing that computer can help you to achieve or to do. But CRO or CAD drawing is an aided design drawing purely for technical purposes. Okay, so they shouldn't confuse the difference of between the CRO and DRO. There are two different machines. There are two different tools that is used to draw. But CRO is more of technical drawing, and then DRO is used for mainly any form of computer aided drawing that you want to use it for. Ok, donc la CAO n'a pas pour fonction première l'édition du dessin. That's what I just explained. The CAO is not for any type of drawing. It's used for technical drawing specifically, but the DRO is used for any kind of drawing that you want to do virtually. So basically, that is the two differences there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, chers collègues, chers étudiants, voici en principe ce que nous devons savoir par rapport à la conception d'un produit mécanique et les outils utiles à réaliser cette conception d'un produit mécanique. So this is where we draw the curtain on this technical aspect. So to summarize, what I've just said is that we looked at the definition of what conception de produit is. What is conception de produit? We defined conception de produit. We looked also at the processes that a product conception goes through and the tools that are needed to make it realized, make it a reality. We said that a conception de produit can either be done by an individual or by a group of people. And we said historically, conceiving a product depends on two things. That is the innovation, the kind of innovation of the product or the kind of innovation you want to do, and the marketing strategy or the marketing plans of the company that is involved. And we also said there are two main processes to conceive a product. We said the first one is la conception réglée, and the second one is la conception innovante. Okay. And we also looked at the tools. We also looked at the analysis fonctionnelle, what goes into designing a product. And we said that this, what goes into designing any product, for you to design a product, you have to take into consideration the end user and also the features of the product, because the features of the product are supposed to help the end user. And so if the end user needs those features, it helps to make the product successful. And we also looked at the tools that are needed to conceive any technical product. We looked at the difference between CRO, which is conception assisté par ordinateur, and then CAD, which is computer aided design. And we said the two are different in that the CRO is used for technical purposes, and then CAD is used for general drawing, computer aided drawing. So this is where we draw the curtain on your technical area. I hope that you followed this online lecture, and I wish you all the best in your exams. As I have already said, this is an opportunity for you to really get the best out of the course. Once again, the structure of the exams, as always, will start with the section A, which is the listening comprehension, which is just 10 marks. And then we have the section B, which is written comprehension, where you have to read a test and understand the test and answer some few questions. And then we also have the lexical or vocabulary part, where you have to use the vocabularies that we've learned during the semester to be able to understand the vocabulary and be able to apply the vocabulary to the right questions, to answer the right questions. And we also have the grammar, the section C, which is the grammar aspect, where you would have to understand the grammar we've done throughout the semester to be able to answer the right question. We've looked at two main grammatical constructions or tenses, which are the passé composé and then parfait. These are the things that you have to focus on to be able to answer the grammar part. But obviously, we also have the production écrite, that's a written expression where you'll be asked to write something to express yourself in writing. We've looked at, basically, we have looked at Je cherche un emploi, where you have to, we looked at writing a CV, writing and une lettre de motivation. And we looked at Je passe un entretien, how to pass an interview. We also looked at Mon premier jour dans une entreprise, my first day at work. So we've looked at these three main topics, which I believe if anything is presented to you in any of these areas, you should be in a comfortable position to answer. And the last part of your CV is your technical area, which I've just shared with you. I hope you follow through this lecture, and I hope that it served you well. I wish you all the best in your exams. See you another time. Bye-bye.